This is Twit.
Hi, I'm Chad with Twit, and before you buy in today, I'm reviewing two products. The Brydge keyboard for the iPad and the REPEL iPad waterproof case. Let's go ahead and start out with the Brydge. The Brydge is a keyboard that you add to your iPad 2, 3, or 4th generation. This does not work with the iPad Air. It needs to have that sort of long edge design of the older iPads. It does collapse up and fold out almost like you would expect a laptop to do, and I really do like the hinge that is on this keyboard. It uses just sort of these rubberized latex inserts around aluminum hinges that keep your iPad in place. I would say that the keyboard is on there pretty sturdy, so is the iPad. I'm never too worried that it's going to fall out. When I want to pull it out, you just apply enough pressure to separate the two and then just set them back in to each other. This works out really, really well. It's kind of surprising how securely the iPad fits in there. Now, the case connects with the iPad via Bluetooth, and it also has multimedia keys along the top, which are things like for home, brightness up and down, volume up and down, play, pause, that sort of thing. And then it also has stereo speakers right on the top as well. Now the keyboard, it's a full-size keyboard. It makes typing a dream on an iPad, especially if you have to do it an awful lot. If you're someone who's tried to give up your laptop, this might be the perfect thing for you. I love the media keys as well. Hitting home just takes you home. You can use brightness down and up, and that all works just as you would expect. The case is made out of aluminum, the same type of aluminum that you would expect to find on a MacBook or the back of your iPad, which is nice. It has rubberized stoppers so that you don't scratch up your iPad or the table on the front and the back. Now, the one thing that I don't like is there is a sort of machined lip here for you to grab into the iPad, and that was very sharp, all corners of this machined inlet so that you can put your finger in and open up the iPad. The weight comes in at around an extra pound, so it makes this, with the full iPad and the keyboard, weigh about the same as an iPad Air. And whenever you pair the keyboard with the iPad, you have to hit Control K for keyboard to start the pairing process. But then to do the speakers, it's a different pairing process, and you have to hit Control B for Bluetooth speakers, I guess. I'm not sure. Why Control B? I kept forgetting that it was B because K made so much sense. Anyway, that was kind of a bummer. I've had this case for coming in at around a month and a half. Mine hasn't failed, but it is something to definitely keep in mind that the warranty does not cover all that long, and there's a lot of people saying that this breaks after 6 months. Okay, let's get into the pros and cons for the Brydge full-size keyboard. I really enjoyed the full-size keys and keyboard. It felt very, very nice. I love the fact that it had multimedia buttons that worked very seamlessly with the iPad, and the extra speakers were fantastic. On the cons, this was pretty heavy. I didn't like hefting around the exact same weight as an iPad Air. The weird Bluetooth pairing process that you have to go through is a con. And then finally, the horrible Amazon reviews is also a big con. The price, there's 3 prices for this keyboard case. First is $169 for the aluminum speakerless version, so you won't get a speaker with that. Next is $199 or $200 for the speakered aluminum version, and then finally is $99 or $100 for the plastic version of this case. Buy, try, don't buy for the Brydge iPad keyboard case. I'm going to have to give this a try. The price was a small factor in that because I don't see a lot of people who would want to spend close to $200 for just a case, a nice looking case. If you're someone who has to type, I might understand, but Also, with the cons of especially those Amazon reviews, I couldn't give this a full resounding buy. So that has been the Brydge. Next, we have one more iPad case, and this is also for the third generation or second generation iPad. It's the REPEL waterproof case. This is a case that you can submerge in water up to 33 feet. Let's go ahead and set it inside. You start with a Velcro, and then you get past 3 little Ziploc areas. There is an orientation to the case because on the back of the case there is an opening for the iPad camera. Then you go ahead and zip up all of these zippers. 3 of them in total, and then fold them up. Once they're folded up, take the Velcro and slap it on top, and there you go. Your iPad is encased in plastic all the way around and can be dropped in water up to 33 feet. The front plastic works just as you would expect, allowing you to tap in, tap around. It's just as responsive as you would hope for. The case does have magnets to keep the front door closed, and it also works with the iPad smart cover technology. Along the back, you have 2 places that you can put the cover into so that it will hinge and stay on an angle. What would you use this for? Of course, boating along the pool, you know, when you're out at the beach on vacation. The shower, because you want to use your iPad, you know, all the time. You don't want just a silly shower to slow you down. So let's get into the pros and cons of the REPEL iPad case. On the pros, it definitely keeps your iPad dry. It also has a cutout for your camera on the back side of your iPad, and I really liked the magnetic clamping that this case does. On the cons, it definitely does feel like a lot of plastic, and the edges, while not like sharp, they're not going to cut you. They are very hard edges and don't feel luxurious at all. It's also very hard to get at any of the side buttons once this iPad is encased in the plastic. It's very hard to hit even just the unlock button, or I can't figure out a way to get to the volume up and down buttons. I'm trying as hard as I can to squish up there, and I really just can't get to them. 3, 2. Finally, there's no way to get to the ports or the headphone jack, which isn't that big of a con because you would sort of expect it in a waterproof case. This comes in at $49.95, and buy, try, don't buy. Let me tell you, I say go ahead and buy this thing. 50 bucks, it might be a little bit expensive for something like this, but it does work. And if you're someone who needs this hardy, up to 33 feet of water, you could take this snorkeling, you could take it scuba diving within reason. I really do think that it is quite nice. I've been Chad Johnson for Twit and Before You Buy. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.